which is about Dojo. So, okay, let's start because we are already a bit late. So, what is Dojo? So, Dojo is basically a toolkit written in JavaScript library, which can help you to develop web applications in a pretty fast way. So, it can save your time, it can save your efforts. Okay, so one thing, it's quite powerful. It provides a lot of functionality. It's open source. All the source is available. Then it provides you a uniform access to all browser APIs, because most of the browsers have different set of implementations of the ECMAScript, which is the standard language for JavaScript language. So basically Dojo provides us a way. So we call Dojo function, and Dojo internally will take care of like which exact function to call as per the browser. So that saves our headache and all. Dojo provides pluggable widgets, which are called digits. So these are like custom made widgets which you can just instantiate inside your code, and that's it. The rest of the functionality will be taken care by the digits itself. So they are quite handy and quite saves a lot of time. Okay, cool. So why Dojo is again the same thing, means we have already sort of explained. It helps you, and especially when you talk about advanced Web 2.0 kind of user interface, where you have lot of JavaScript, lot of Ajax is happening, a lot of things are happening on the browser itself, not like the previous kind of thing where you only have pages or simple forms which you submit, that's it. So for these kind of which are called as web applications, Dojo is quite helpful.
So are there any alternative frameworks that we
There are a lot of them. Lot of them.
So did we evaluate and finally zero in on this thing, or any?
I guess, yeah. Before choosing Dojo for the SMX, lot of this thing has been done.
Okay.
And Dojo come up because I can tell you the advantage of Dojo. One thing, Dojo is quite similar to you can say a Java type of. It provides you Java kind of interface. So you can make classes, you can extend them, you can include them. It provides a package kind of structure also. It also provides a build system. So you can compress all your JavaScript file into a single file, which can save your network bandwidth and the loading time of your applications. And again, Dojo is quite stable. A lot of companies are using them. Cisco and IBM. IBM was one of the like early who started this Dojo and all. So when you the thing is, most of the libraries, their work is quite common. They provide you a single interface to access all the browsers. So in a way, most of the JavaScript libraries are same. So some focus on something else and some focus on different things. For some, the size is the most prime thing. So they try to reduce the size of the library so that the initial load time is the very less. For some of the libraries, functionality, advanced functionality is the main thing. Dojo is one of them. It provides.
So how does Dojo offer in terms of the
performance?
Code added actually. I mean extra code that it adds to. I mean, the lesser the code is, better it is.
See, Dojo provides you one thing is, it also provides you way that how much you want. So the base Dojo.
The functionality I understand, but does it add any overhead?
Just a thing. So the base Dojo is only 26 KB when you use script. So it's a quite small thing. But if you want to add more functionality, then you can add. So there is a build system where you can specify like what all modules you want in your website. So whichever you have used, you can add their name there, and when your build happens, it picks up only those JavaScript file and compresses into single one. So in that way, Dojo can let you customize like what type, how much library you will load. So cross-browser thing is the quite major thing when you talk about JavaScript libraries. Okay, so how to get Dojo? So this Dojo toolkit.org is a website where you can go and download. You can download the release version. You can download the source. You can also do a SVN checkout and all. So, and you can also get a compressed one and all the source one, which you can yourself build and all. So
No, one question, basic question.
Yeah, sure.
What does build mean? Because it's a JavaScript thing, right? I mean, what do we build here? I mean,
So see, in terms of Dojo,
Uh-huh.
Dojo comes with a handy build tool, which is written in Java.
Okay.
Okay.
Something like Gilbert kind of a thing, is it? Or
Yeah, it's a kind of, it's a basically Java class.
okay, which converts.
Which
emits
compresses,
JavaScript. Okay.
yes, which selects all the JavaScript file as per the build profile, compresses them. It also there is a term mungified. So basically it replaces the very long variable names.
Okay.
So that type of optimization it also does. So that all that process is called a Dojo build.
Okay.
At the end you will get a compressed JavaScript file, gzipped, which is very less in size.
Okay.
So that is the whole advantage of using a build thing.
Okay.
Okay. So where are we? Okay, so if you want, I can show you like what exactly you get when you download Dojo.
Okay.
So here we go, JS Dojo. So this is like in 3 directories. In a second, we'll go to the architecture of Dojo.
Okay.
We'll discuss these things in more detail. So you get these 3 directories. One is digit, other is Dojo, other is Dojo X.
Okay.
We'll talk about all of them. So main thing is the Dojo, and inside this dojo.js file. Okay. This is the initial file which you have to load in the browser. Rest of the thing you can load using dojo.require. We'll see all of that. Okay. So let's talk about Dojo architecture. As we saw in the folder structure, there were 3 folders: Dojo, Digit, and Dojo X.
Correct.
Okay. So this Dojo folder itself contains 2 things. One is Dojo base and the other is Dojo core. Okay. So it's nothing like, it's like a groups, you can say. The base is the basic group, which is any ways you need, because it's like the core functionality of Dojo library. So that you have to like use. You can't cut it more than the base. Base you have to anyways load in the browser if you are using Dojo. On the top of base, there are some other extra functionality. If you want to use them, they are defined inside the core part of it. We'll see like what is there in the core, what is there in the base. And on the top of these things, so these 2 things, base and core, they are more like libraries. They will provide you standard functions and all. But these things, Digit and Dojo X, they are more like widgets kind of thing, which they have their own functionality, which you can plug inside your page and get all that functionality. But they are not directly related with the Dojo base code or core code. Okay. And there are some util library also with the Dojo. So some of the digits and some of the Dojo X things uses them. Okay. And these are your widgets. So you can write your own code, you can make your own widgets, you can extend your the Dojo or digit widgets into your custom widgets, and you can place them inside. All these things can after the build can go into a single file or something. Okay. So if we go back to that folder structure, so here you can see, so Dojo. So Dojo further divided into so many things, like data is another one functionality of Dojo, and there are resources. So this is mainly, if you see, is more like a core functionality. Means if you want to the code related to handle the cache is in the cache.js. So code related which handles the DOM API is there in the DOM.js. You need not to worry about all the separate files. All you need to shortly we'll go there. All you need to do is load the first Dojo.js file, and that's it. You are done. After that, you can just say, okay, I need this, and Dojo itself will download it. And similarly, you can see Dojo X. You can see whole lot of stuff which is there, and most of the stuff you can see is like which you can use see in the related to most of the web development. So like Atom, I can see Color, CSS3. So these are things which are Dojo X basically is like which are in the development right now, but they are not up to that level that they can go into the digit.
Okay.
So they are somehow in between. And as all these this, Dojo thing, it's open source thing. So a lot of developers develop their this stuff. Okay. And digits are in more stable form. If you see, and a lot of digits widgets are available. For example, inside digit.form, you can see combo box, date list.
So in SMS, do we use this as is or?
Yeah, we are using.
As is or as some, we have some wrapper?
No, we have our own customizations also.
Okay.
Plus some we are using directly.
Okay.
So that depends. Like if it is fulfilling our needs, then we can use it as it is.
Okay.
If it is not, then we can extend it.
Okay.
So again, it saves a lot of time because all you have to do, write your extra code.
Okay.
The basic functionality you get from it. Okay. So quickly, let's go back to the Dojo thing. So we talked about Dojo base. So Dojo base is the core of this library. It's only 26 KB after compression and gzipping. It provides a bootstrapping. Basically, when you initially quickly we'll go to the how we include this Dojo file. So we'll say we include it like a simple script file inside our web page, and we give a path to dojo.js. So that is the basic step for loading Dojo library into your web application or web page. Okay. So when you do that, it also does a bootstrapping thing. So it creates a lot of arrays, listeners, and lot of stuff. It does, and it also provides you ability to do the browser detection. So you can not only browser, it can even get what type of host you are. Even some OS, what type of OS you are using, that stuff. And Dojo comes with a package system, as we have seen already. So all these things, digits, you can see they are quite neatly packed into their own. I mean, even if you open any of the module, for example, let's say date text box. So if you open that, though it's a compressed kind of code because I picked up the release code. It's not the source code, that's why it's like this. But you will say that define digit slash form slash date box. So when you use this, that time you say, okay, I need dojo.require and I need digit.form.date box. So it's quite like a package system in Java.
Right.
So let's go back to the presentation. Okay, and JavaScript enhancements, because some functionality which JavaScript itself is not providing, Dojo provides that. Okay. Starting from very simple like add class, remove class function, which is not there in the JavaScript. Yeah. Dojo provides you, and lot of functionality which is not there in the JavaScript, it's there in the Dojo. If you use Dojo, you get whole lot of extra functionality, even if you are using Dojo base, which is very small. So major things which Dojo base provides are query. So you can query the DOM. So just like a CSS selectors. We'll go a little bit more detail about all these things. So and DOM APIs like add, if you can add any element inside any HTML document, remove it, change its property. All that API is available. Ajax, again for Ajax, there is a very good support in Dojo. Similarly, events, handling events, and FX is for animations and all. So that all is there inside the base itself. So even if you are using the 26 KB file, you are getting this much. Okay. Okay, quickly let's go. So this is how you include Dojo inside your web application. All you have to make sure that the path should be correct where you have downloaded. Quickly, if we can see, I have created one sort of project, and inside that I have okay, here it is, simple test. here you can see, so it's just like a common file which I have included in all of the pages. I am using PHP as a backend thing because I wanted to create a quick so that I can show you Dojo in working, not only the slides only. So you can see the real code of Dojo. So here it's like a common file which is included in all the pages in PHP. So here you can see we are including the Dojo by giving it source where it is, and there is some configuration which you can initially provide, which is called DJ config. What it says like is debug true. So if you are, it's for development, you can set it debug and try to give you whole lot of errors and warnings. If it is your production
in the JavaScript console, is it?
We'll talk about the console also. Okay. So and also parts on load true. So this is a feature of Dojo itself, that you can put some class Dojo types inside your markup also. So for example, you can say I have one div, and inside the div attributes you can say Dojo type is digit.form.checkbox or radio button or select box, whatever. So Dojo, while parsing itself, when you start parsing the HTML, it will start converting those divs into actual Dojo widgets. So that is very good in terms of when you have to like keep the presentation from different from your business logic, that kind of stuff. So in terms of templates, so those will come as extra attributes, so won't affect the actual design. So designers can work on the HTML part, the template, and you can just by placing that Dojo, it will convert into actual widgets. We'll see all the this. Okay, and there is one more thing here, which is called Dojo.register module path. So for example, for whatever is there inside the Dojo is fine with that. Whenever you will say I need Dojo.parser, Dojo know where is the parser. But what about your own modules? For example, I have added one created, you can say it's a package, SMX. So I have to tell Dojo like where my this SMX package is. So if you see the directory structure, so inside the JS directory, I have one SMX folder and one Dojo folder. There is one more folder. Inside Dojo, if you can see, there is further Dojo, and inside Dojo there is a Dojo.js. So that path which we have seen should be relative to this Dojo.js. So as you can see, it's like where I was just a second. Okay, so if you see, I have 2 times dot dot, so 2 level up. So that's what we are doing, 1 level up and then again 1 level up. So then we'll find the SMX directory. Okay, and inside that again you can create many folders which will for different functionality. You can create multiple folders, and inside the folder you can keep your code. So this is code specific to your application. Even you can see like here we are saying Dojo.provide. Provide is just like providing the namespace only. That this particular the below code is inside this particular package. So this smx.simple this simple test will become as a package. Okay, and the rest of the functionality go inside. Okay. Actually, this simple test is bit extra here. Even if you say simple, it should work. So basically, till simple it's package, and here is your class simple test. Okay. So that's how you can get started with Dojo. You can download it. You can, and I have used PHP. You can use any language, JSP or .NET, whatever. The backend you can use anything, even Servlet or whatever. Okay. So quickly, let's talk something about this DJ config. So it's all the configuration which you want to give in the first step only. Like the debugging should be there, and parse on load. Sometimes you don't want that. If you are not using any any Dojo related widgets inside the markup, you don't want this feature, because otherwise it will take some extra time. If you set it to false, it won't do the parsing and will save some time. In front end, everything is like very important. Even if you can save few instructions,
correct.
it's good. So similarly, you have all sort of other configurations also. Means like debug at all costs, local, and then base URL, module paths. So you can even we did like we separately defined like dojo.register module path. You can provide the same thing inside the Dojo DJ config also. Here you can, and you can add as many as namespaces here. So it's not like you can add only one. You can add many of them. Okay, and then you can, from here only you can say after onload what function should be there and some other configuration. Okay, don't worry about all the configurations because that then it will take too much.
What does add onload mean?
So after onload, when I haven't used it, see in Dojo there is one property means after add onload. So basically add onload is the function where you which can work as a start point.
And the page first loads up, right?
Once your page loaded, you can define, okay, once my page loaded, start from here. So you write your code inside that, and you load your widgets, you do your make Ajax calls and all, page print the page and all. So all that stuff you do. But after onload, I should means whether you want this this functionality or not. In case you don't want that, just make it false. Okay, and one more thing about is debug. So if you have enabled the is debug module, so Dojo checks whether your browser natively supports console, because now most of the browsers are supporting console, but it was not there as part of the native JavaScript or something. So if it is not there, it has its own Firebug Lite kind of thing, which it includes with that thing. So if even if your browser doesn't support console thing, it will create its own. So it won't create errors and all. Okay. Package system, we have already talked about it. It's the same thing. So in Dojo, everything is divided into some classes and packages. So inside your page, once you have loaded the Dojo, after that, if you want to use dojo.fx functionality, you have to first say, okay, I need this functionality. Same like you say before using any class inside Java, you say I need this class so that compiler can include that class. Similar way, so what Dojo does, when you say dojo.require, it checks whether this particular module is available in the current scope, current execution. So no matter how many times you write this statement, dojo.require, Dojo downloads this thing only once and then keeps that thing in the cache. Okay, and if you have any question, you can.
In the require, it includes some .fx.
Yeah.
So can I also say require something, some other Dojo, something of that sort? I mean.
Yes. Dojo dot anything. Even it should not be Dojo. I can say we created our own namespace SMX. So we can say SMX dot event handler dot this class. Okay. So it can be anything. Whichever you class you want to use for functionality, you require. Okay, you include that. So when you do that, it also downloads that file if it is not already there in that page. And register module path we already discussed. And the same way, if you give something which is not there, means not even in your directory, it will give a forward for error. It will simply fail. And dojo.provide, normally we will put this on the top of the file to tell the Dojo, okay, this is my namespace for the current code. That we have seen here. Okay. Let's go back again. Dojo.provide, smx.simple. So see, I have created one class here, smx.simple.simpletest. You can create as many classes here. So there is no limit here. But the namespace will remain the same, smx.simple. Okay. Okay, again, Dojo provides you ability to detect the browser. You need not to worry about. All you can always check like whether if dojo.isIE, write your specific code to IE, something like that. So that is inbuilt and it's quite simple. But these type of things are quite basic things when you see a library, JavaScript library.
Yeah.
That's why it's necessary to like whether it's available or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then let's come to the how classes and inheritance works in JavaScript. See, by default, JavaScript doesn't provide you class kind of functionality.
Yeah.
So everything is object inside JavaScript. That's why I have added in the meeting that you should know a bit of JavaScript to know how things works in Dojo. So because there are no class keyword, Dojo tries to provide you that functionality. So if you are using Dojo, creating classes, creating object is very easy. We'll see a lot of them. So for doing that, there are some functions available. One is dojo.declare, one is dojo.extend, and there is one more, dojo.mixin. Okay, so instead of showing seeing this code here, we can go to the demo itself. So okay. So Chrome also comes with a console where you can go and check any code, do the debugging, anything else, it's there. Okay. So can you see the code?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we talked something about add-on load. We'll talk more about this thing later when we talk about events. But it's bit. Let me tell you something about it. This is a function dojo.onload, which lets you add a function which Dojo will call once the page load has been done. So it's like Dojo saying you, okay, the page load has been done, what do you want to do? Okay. So you say, okay, I have my function, call my function. So if you see dojo.add-on-load, and I have defined a function inside it. So whenever page load done, after that it calls this function. Okay. So let's quickly create a breakpoint here and reload this page. Okay, so you can see it's there. So now because these are about object and classes, there is no visible demo as such. So that's why let's see in the code itself what I am trying to do.
What debugger is this? I mean,
this is
browser debugger,
the native debugger of Chrome browser.
Okay.
Similarly,
does Firefox also have
Firefox provides you have to Firebug, install the add-on Firebug.
Okay.
And also IE also comes with a debugger nowadays. IE 7, 8, 9 all comes with a debugger. Okay, so you can use it and they are quite handy. So here what we are trying to do, we are trying to create declare a class which is called myObject. Now name is a bit strange here, but and there is a null after that. The second argument is about, do you want to inherit some class? So this class is going to be a children of any other class?
Okay.
Null means no. Okay, it's a new class. And then all the functions which you want to add inside this thing. Okay. And in JavaScript there is no much difference between functions and variables, methods and properties. There is no much difference. When you say colon is a function, very easily you can say and after that is equal to 4 or is equal to a string. So defining properties and method is variables is not much difference in JavaScript. So here we are trying to create a class myObject with a single function say, and inside that we are just whatever message you will pass while calling this function, it's basically log that function in the console. Okay. Then we are trying to create an object. It's just similar to Java. I mean, if you say my object, whatever is the new of my class. Okay. And then on that particular object, you call that function, give that parameter hi there. So let's quickly run this. So after object.say, let's go to console. See, hi there. Okay. So now what you know is, because dojo.declare allows you to create a class with all sort of properties and methods. It's quite in similar way like Java only, where you the syntax is bit different, but at least it's allowing you, because nothing is available in the core JavaScript like this. Then there is a function dojo.extend. Extends allow you to extend a already existing class. So though the class is not there inside the JavaScript, but like when we use like dojo.declare, now our this thing, my object, which, sorry, it should be my function actually, this my object is a class, so you can extend it also. So now that we are trying to do the same. So we are trying to extend this class, dojo.extend, my object, and we are adding one more function here, say uppercase. Okay. And it internally is calling the same function, this dot say, which we defined in the previous thing. Okay. Now we try to create another object of this newly created class. Here you can use a new name also. Okay. So you say object dot say upper, and it will, let's see, quickly run this, and go to console, it printed that message in the uppercase. Okay. So you can define a class, you can extend it. Okay, and though we haven't done this, but
is it possible to overload that existing method called?
Yes. Okay. See, first of all, this overloading,
not overloading, overriding rather. I mean,
overriding in JavaScript is very simple. If you define the same name in that while extending that class, it will override. And overloading JavaScript, it's not required that your function argument should match when you call the function. So everything, whatever you will give, JavaScript takes them as argument, and they are available inside a special variable named arguments. So you can go through and check the arguments and accordingly do the actions. So if there are 2 arguments, do this. If there are 3, then do this. You need not to specifically. Okay, so one thing which we haven't done here in the previous example, dojo.declare, so there were no parent classes. So you can, if I would have included some other class here, this class by default have got all the properties and method of that class. So that inheritance is also available with you. Okay, and then there is one more handy function which is called dojo.mixin. So mixin is basically allows you to add properties or methods on the top of any object. So for example, you have one thing, just forget the top of the code, start from here only, where object is, and this is called JSON notation. You must be familiar with it. JavaScript by default takes it. So it will directly create one object with 2 properties, first name and last name. Okay. So now you have one object with 2 things, first name and last name. If at this point we'll try to let's say print object, what it is. So it will say it's an object with 2 properties, first name and last name. Okay. And dojo.mixin helps you to add more functionality or properties to the existing object and returns you a new object. Basically this. So now basically you are assigning this new object to the new variable. That's why it's a new. Otherwise you can assign to the same one. So the initial one will contain the extra property. Okay. So after this, when you do a console log that employee object, it has an extra third field. So on runtime itself, you can add extra properties or method to any object. So that's why we call JavaScript as a dynamic language. Okay. So that is how Dojo helps you to create objects and classes. Okay. Any questions? We are quite running short of time, so let's quickly try to wrap it up. So now there's a function dojo.query. So dojo.query helps you to get any elements from the page, HTML elements. So you can and using CSS selectors. So if you are a bit aware about CSS, how CSS works, you can say dot class name and then tag name, if or hash ID. So all that selectors you can give inside the dojo.query, and Dojo will return you all those elements in as a DOM element. So then you can play with them. I mean, you can do anything, whatever you want to do. You can change the style, you can change, delete, you can like hide them, show them, move them, whatever you want to do, you can do.
Okay.
So whatever there is available in the CSS selector, it's there. If you can see, like in these examples, first one is we are doing a tag based selection. Second one we are doing again tag based, but here we are getting a list. And Dojo is also handy. You can, it's quite similar to jQuery if you have heard about it. So once this dojo.query A executes, whatever elements that you get on that particular collection or array, you can say apply this function for each. So and for each is a Dojo function, by the way. And on that apply this function n, and there you are changing something. Okay. So it's quite handy, because otherwise in normal JavaScript you have to do like first you have to get the ID of the parent, then so all that logic you have to do yourself. But if you are using Dojo, it can like save your time and all. So these are like basic functions, DOM functions. Dojo.byId, where you can quickly fetch any element using the ID of it. Dojo.body will return you the document body, whatever is the, if it's iframe or it's a main page, it will return you current context ID, body, sorry. Dojo.creates allow you to create element, destroy the any element. Dojo.attribute is very handy. It can allows you to change multiple attributes in a single time. And Dojo.styles allows you to change the style properties. Dojo.place allows you to add any new element or existing element to place anywhere inside the DOM. So quickly I have a demo here for the DOM example also. Again, it's there mostly in the code only. I am not able to select this particular file. Oh, yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, just quickly we'll go through this example. So all those functions which we have talked about, I have created one small example here.
Okay.
So, okay. So what we have done using dojo.create, we have created a new div. Then using dojo.attribute, I have added two attributes to it. One is ID attribute and the inner HTML attribute. Okay, then I am using dojo.place. I am placing it in the body and at the first place. So after this line executes, you can see this top div in the corner and new. Okay, then to the same div, I am changing the style of it. Okay, so the style got changed. So you can see, like I'm inside this Dojo style, I'm saying this is my element and these are all the properties which we have to update. So these are very handy. And again, after all this, I'm again destroying it. So gone. Okay. So DOM manipulation is as simple as that using Dojo. Okay, now comes the Ajax part. Hope you are familiar with the Ajax, how Ajax works. So Dojo allows you to provides you a lot of functionality which even I haven't covered inside my slides. But we'll talk about some basic functionality. Dojo provides quite advanced functionality also, like iframe and all. So the basic function is dojo.accessChar, which is XML HTTP request. So you can make a GET request, POST request, and PUT request. You can directly post a form, and you can send a request using hidden iframe. All that stuff you can do inside. And there's a Another example of oh, looks like still okay. So see, Dojo dot where it is. So what I am doing the similar way, Dojo dot onload inside this function. What I am trying to do is I am oh, why we haven't got any slide for the events? Oh, looks like something is we skipped some slides here. Oh yeah. Let's first talk about events,
Okay.
because otherwise Ajax will not make that sense. So to handle most of the events inside the browser, Dojo allows you to add event handlers to do some activity on after that event. So these are the basic functions which can help you to handle the events. One is this Dojo add-on load, which we have already seen, which can we use at the end of page load. Similarly, we have add-on unload. So before unloading the page, you can give some message to user, you can do some cleaning, you can save some data. Dojo.connect allows you to add callbacks for any events, for click, for key press, for mouse move. So all that things you can add an event callback, and inside your callback you can handle the event and do some action or something. And we'll talk a little more about Dojo.subscribe and publish here. Before that, let's quickly see this event thing. Okay. So here I have a page where I'm saying check time, and it tells me the time. So you can see when I clicked on this thing, it told me the current time. Even if how many times you click on this, it will give you the exact time. And if I want to stop this behavior, I say stop checker. Now even if I click on this, it won't update. I want to start it again. So basically I'm trying to show you like all these events. Click is here, you can do it many events, key press, key down, mouse move, all that you can handle here. Okay. And if we quickly go through the code, okay. Right. So we are using this function dojo.connect, which I have told you. Here you have to tell like which element. So you have to provide some ID, or you have to do dojo.query. Even if the ID is not available, using dojo.query, you can get a handle of your element and provide it here. Then you have to tell what type of event, and then what scope. This is JavaScript. The scope thing is quite problematic. Yeah. So when you add event handlers, at the time of callback, JavaScript doesn't call them inside your function or your object scope. They call it inside the global scope. So to handle this thing, Dojo provides you ability like what particular object scope you want to do the callback function. So here we are passing this variable as a this. So this is a special keyword which points to the current object. So we are passing that so that when they call this function, the callback function, event handler function, it should have the scope. Okay, and inside that function we are doing all that stuff. Okay, so dojo.connect is clear. Dojo.add-on unload is okay. Yeah. We have seen it. And even now if we try to go back from this page, because I have added one event handler for add-on unload. Okay. So it's saying me data is not saved. Okay. So you can do all sort of like at this point you can make a Ajax call and save your data or something like that. Okay, leave this page.
And what is the publish and
we'll come to that. So Dojo provides you one very handy feature. It's not there in JavaScript, and it's like a custom feature of Dojo. It can it enables you to give some type of like messages like okay, this thing has been done. So if something I can create some flags which I would say somebody can subscribe to it, and they will know like when this thing got happened. So the
When you
advantage.
say somebody to something in the same page, right? I mean,
Yes. Okay. Let's quickly see this example, and we'll talk about it. So when I say publish, okay. So this current time is whatever.
Okay.
So here it looks like I have added an event handler here, but it's not an event handler. We'll go into the code quickly, and we'll see it here. First of all, what we have done is Dojo.subscribe to us this special flag. It's just a name with some again some namespaces and all, so that there should not be any overwriting and all. So this particular, and I have added one callback. So whenever this somebody says publishes this particular event, my callback function will be called instantly. Okay. And when on that click of that publish function, public button, here it is, public button, whose ID is button publish, and so I have added one, button publish. On click of button publish, I am not directly calling the callback. What I am doing is, I am getting the data and I am saying, I am publishing this event. So I am saying, okay, this event has been happened, and here is the data. So the other function who is listening to this particular thing, he will get notified instantly, and this callback function will be called, and inside that we are doing the alert thing. This is very helpful when you have your page which is divided into so many widgets. You do something here, let's say you post a search form. Now you want to make some changes in some other widget also accordingly. So the default way is you call some function directly from the search code to do something there. But that is not a good design. If tomorrow you want to change something, if you want to remove search, then it can break the other functionality also. So to make this clean thing, Dojo provides you subscribe and unsubscribe and publish thing. Okay. So it's quite handy when you what happened? What? Okay, that's okay. So it's very helpful when you have two separate widgets. They have their own set of code and everything. So you don't mix up things. Okay. So now let's get back to the presentation. So we have covered mostly all of them. Unsubscribe is just to like unsubscribing. It's quite easy. Okay. Now let's talk about AJAX methods. Let's quickly go through the example of it. See how using this thing we can play this page. So we are making here on click of it, we are making a AJAX call which is going to the server. We'll let's see in the console thing. Okay. So this console thing is very helpful in terms of JavaScript and Dojo. It can help you like what exactly is happening. So what I am doing is, in fact, this thing is somehow not telling me like. If I see the same thing in the Firefox, it will tell me like this particular callback has happened, and this is this thing. So what I am doing after the callback comes, I am just logging that object, which is the response. This thing. Let's do one thing. So this is Firebug, and it has that Firebug thing. So actually Firebug will show all the what has happened. So more details about the page and about the event. For example, even before making the call, you can see Dojo has tried to downloaded the Firebug.js, parser.js, url.js, and stamp.js. Okay. So let's clear it and let's make a call. So see, it says there was a get call to this URL dojo.data.php with some prevent cache and all. So this was the response which we have got from the server.
and then we using console.log we logged all the response, and so this is the object. Okay, so here we using, now quickly go to the code part of it. So it's very easy, man. It's not that difficult making Ajax call. All you have to do, on click of that function, I'm calling this function update photos.
Okay.
And inside the update photos, I'm creating one this arguments array object, which is says like what is the URL where I have to make the Ajax call, what is the handle as, what is the response, whether it's JSON, XML or all. It will take care of that. Do you want to prevent cache? Yes. And then what I should do after the load, when the everything happens and then after the call. So once I get the data, I'm logging it, and then using if the status is okay, and then I'm going through the photos and creating the URL and creating all the images. Okay, all these things. So this much functionality is this simple inside using this Dojo. If you have to write this much code using native JavaScript, it will take a much more time. Okay, so that's it. Let's go back to presentation. Okay, and Dojo also provides you a lot of animations in your page. So there are some functions. One is fade in, fade out, which basically fades in and fades out any element. Animate property allows you to animate things, move things from one place to other place, resize things, all that stuff you can do. And quickly, let's see the example of it. So I can do a fade in, so it does that, fade out, so fades it out, animate, and animate back. So all that stuff is very easy using basic functions and providing the arguments. So fx dot, yeah, if you can see on all those 4 buttons, I've added the event on the click event handler, and all this function, what they are doing is there is simply a configuration which you have to create, like what node, which node to, for example, this fade in, which node to fade, how much duration, and that's it. You say fade in, what are the arguments, and play. It will does that. The rest of the stuff is done. In general, Dojo, most of the stuff is like that only. All you have to do is create a configuration array, means create one object of it, pass that configuration to that object, and that will take care of the rest of the functionality. Okay. Okay, so let's talk something about Dojo core. Here we don't go deep in any of these things. These are the extra things which are available inside the Dojo core. So one is the data API, which is very handy when you deal with the data sources. For example, you created some widget, let's say grid list, where you are showing a lot of data in tabular form. So to handle that thing, you can use this API, which can work as a backend for that particular widget. So your this front end thing, means the core grid object, should not know about from where this data is coming and all that stuff. It should rely on this particular data.object API. Okay. Similarly, it provides drag and drop kind of functionality, advanced animation and all, internationalization, Google Gears, if you want to use Google Gears in your application, which can provide you offline support and offline browsing and all. And there are some other utilities like Dojo.string utilities to string comparing and changing case and all that stuff. Then Dojo.date provides handy if you deal with all the Dojo timestamps, in general timestamps and time, changing time to one format to another format. All that functionality is there. And regular expression is also there, where you can easily create regular expression, because the native way of creating is a bit difficult to some people. And again, input-output transport, what we have talked about these things while talking about Ajax, it also provides you on top of it, means like iframe transport. It allows you to dynamically add any script file inside your page, and RPC. So all this thing is there, which is if you want to use them, you can use them. It's not there in the base part, but it's there in the core. Whenever you want to use any of this, simply say dojo.require,
Okay.
for example, dojo.input-output.iframe, and then you can use
Okay.
them. Okay. So digits are a bit special thing. I mean, they are widgets. They have everything. Means they encapsulate three things: HTML, JavaScript, and CSS for that particular widget.
Okay.
They take care of their own presentation and all. So they are quite handy. If you have created one widget, you can use it in a number of times in your page or in your inside your application, and they are very useful. Okay. So Dojo itself comes all these widgets like form elements, button, drop downs, input fields, layout widgets, and so here are some example: content plane, accordion, tab container, stack container, and some other rich experience widgets like tree, progress bar, dialog, tooltip, menu, rich, text editor, etc. And they also take care about the accessibility, because how they work is, inside your markup you say a very simple thing like input type is equal to radio button only, just like plain HTML. But Dojo type is equal to digit.form.radio button. So only when your browser supports that functionality, it will create into a more advanced type of radio button or more advanced type of text box. If it is not available, it will come as a basic one. So it handles all this accessibility issues also. So no matter what type of browser you are using, still at least it will work up to some certain extent. Okay, and it is template. It allows you to have specify all that presentation inside the template files. So quickly you can change the look of any of your widgets. And themes also, means theme support is also there. If you just change the CSS file, all the view will be changed. This Dojo lifecycle is bit like more than so basically that's how what happens when there are functions. One is constructor, then post mixin properties, build, rendering, post create, startup. Basically all this function is if you want to do something after during the startup time, if you want to do something during the post create time. So all this allows you to where you can plug your own code. For example, if you are doing using dojo.form, form.some checkbox or filtering select, for example. So okay, let me just show you one example first, and then we'll talk a bit more about this digit thing. So for example, if you see, this is not a normal checkbox. This is a bit fancy, and similarly this is not a normal select box. You can do, will try to like okay. So this type of extra functionality is there, and this is all digit code only. I haven't written a single line of code. Okay, and how I have included that thing. Okay, let's go to the code and digit. So see, in fact there is no code. All I have done is I have said, okay, I want to use these two things inside my page. So I said dojo.require. Then inside this input, I just said, okay, this is the type is checkbox, but the Dojo type is digit.form.checkbox. And because the parse on load is true, parse on load, which we have seen in the first slide, which is true, Dojo itself will see, okay, oh, it's type of digit.form, it automatically converts it into a digit. Okay. Similarly, I have added this this select as a Dojo type digit.form.filtering select, and it will convert it into and it also picks up all the options from it. Okay, so using widget is as simple as that. There are ways where you can using JavaScript code you can create widgets. So that is also very simple. You will say, okay, where my widget is equal to new digit.form.checkbox, for example, and that's it. It will create a programmatically widget. Okay, so that is most it's like, and then once you have your widget in memory, or then you can call all their functions, and similarly you can extend them also. So using dojo.declare syntax, you can say dojo.declare my new widgets, then comma extend digit.form.checkbox. So it will get all the functionality, and then you whatever extra method you want to add, or if you want to override some method, you can do that. Okay, so these widgets are very handy, and we are using a lot of them in SMX also. Okay, and let's go back to the presentation just quickly, because finish it off. These are some of the layout widgets which can help you to make a lot of UI functionalities like tab containers and all. Because creating those things by your own hand using HTML, CSS and JavaScript is very difficult. And that again, if you want to support many browsers. And now something about Dojo X. As I've told you, Dojo X are those functionalities which are like in progress or in experiment right now. People are working on them, but they are not stable fully. So that's why they are not inside the digit. As soon as they will are more stable and all, they will move them to the digit itself. So if you can see, like, these are some of the things which are available inside the Dojo X.
We are not using anything, right, in SMX?
No, we are not using. But you can, as per your requirement, you can use them, but at your own risk. Dojo won't, you can't say, okay, this thing is buggy, because it's not stable enough. So you have charting APIs, you have data, more data APIs, data stores, and Django template library. We are using Django. So somehow template, means this thing we are using, I guess. And then if you want to communicate with the Flash thing, so embedded Flash, QuickTime, all that thing, these things provide. And cool effects, graphics, SVG is coming now with HTML5. So all that stuff is happening. So this is like a very long list. Even if you want to create your own project, you can create, and people will start using it. The idea is that nobody should spend more time coding, which is already available. So that is all available inside Dojo X. So initially we talked about the build system. So that is a part of Dojo Util, and some other objective harshness. So testing framework is there. So if you want to write your unit test for your code, you can do that using this framework. Let's talk very small about the build system, because it's quite big. In fact, we have talked most of them, like why we use a build system, like reduce the number of files, reduce the JavaScript file size, and what it does is remove white space, comments, all the console statements, because in production you don't need them, obviously. So, and it does minification also. Actually, it's not minification, that's a mistake. It should be mungification. So basically, when you change the name of some variables and all while doing this minification, that is called mungification. Because that sometimes leads to some errors. So that's why not too many people say that do this thing. Even only the minification should be sufficient. And it also, if you have inside your widgets, digit widgets, if you use HTML template, this build can also convert that template file into a string, inline string inside your JavaScript. So that will save another call. When you try to load that as template file, it will be another. So to save that, it can convert that as template file into a internal string. So here are some more details about like where it is inside the util directory of build scripts, build.sh for Linux and Mac OS, and build.batch for Windows. Okay, you can run these things to build that thing. And there are pre-defined profiles available, and you can create your own also. Okay, now resources, api.dojotoolkit.org, online docs available, there are some blogs also,
Mm.
and lot of books also available.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So